Right. So, all right, great, wonderful. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon to wherever you're joining us from on this amazing continent. And again, we are back with the Women Empowerment Program. We are now on session three. Wow, time flies. But before we get started, just to make sure that you are catching us in the language of your choice, please make sure to look down to the bottom right of your screen and click on the interpretation, and so that you can pick whether you would like to hear this program in English or in French. And we are so excited to encourage each other to keep our microphones muted during presentations. And this is so that we can all enjoy the program proceeding. So excited as we are to see you this week, we want to do a quick recap and general check-in with the participants. As you know, I don't fly solo on this program, so Ruvimbo will do a quick check-in with all of us. Over to you, Ruvimbo, and how are you doing this morning?
Hi, Vicky. Hi, everybody. Super excited to have you all here today. And yeah, how are we feeling today? So today our check-in is going to be share an emoji, do a reaction. So at the bottom, you can just click on a reaction there. Just show us how you're feeling today. All right. I've got some good mornings in the chat. Good morning, Nomusa from South Africa. Good morning, Sandra. Awesome. Hello, Tendai, Chipo. Seeing a lot of love there. Great. So today, Vicky, we are going to do a we're going to be talking about going from chalkboards to chatbots. But before we do that, we are going to talk about what we discussed in our last week. And if you're joining us for the first time, welcome. You've absolutely found your community, and we are happy to have you here. Last week we had an insightful session. It was about reimagining teaching using technology, and we all resolved that the use of AI as a tool is amazing to have as a toolkit and as teachers and educators, and that we were given a few tips last week to just add on to that toolkit that we already have. Does anyone want to share what they've used so far and what they've had fun with during the last week? Morning. We can do so in the chat, or we can just raise our hand. And then you can unmute. This can be any tool, one we discussed last week, or a tool that you discovered this last week uh, that you'd like to share with the community. Anybody? Hi,
So, oh,
Confiance.
wonderful.
Did I say that right, Glenda? Please unmute.
Yes, that's right.
Awesome.
Hi, everyone. Can
Hello.
you see me?
We can see you. Thank you.
Hi. So last week, what I enjoyed most was the query pod. I used to make my lesson plans with ChatGPT, the detailed lessons and all the things that I wanted. So this week I tried query pod and it really worked wonders for me. It has a different approach that comes with graphs with all the visuals. I really enjoyed the Q report. And I also made a poster for my class using what is it called? Oh, it's going away. What's the name of this app that you used to make the poster last week? Um,
Mhm.
Canva?
it's
Canva?
Canva. Yes, I
Oh.
made a poster with Canva. Yes, I did made a poster with Canva. It's really interesting. I'm enjoying all the lessons that we are having. Thank you.
That's absolutely amazing. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for sharing. Vickie, I feel encouraged for today. Would you like to jump right in?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And I'm excited when she speaks of Canva because, Glenda, we're going to be doing some stuff on Canva later on today as we prepare for our next session next week. We'll tell you what that session will be a little bit later. So, just a quick recap if you missed out last week. And just by way of reminder, to get your certificate, you would need to attend 5 out of the 7 sessions that we have on this program. So that was just a gentle reminder. So, what did we get up to last week? So, one of the most important things that we spoke about last week is the 4 C's of education, particularly in the AI age. You will recall as educators that communication, critical thinking, collaboration, and creativity form the crux of what we do when we go through our lesson plans. And this is because you want your students to have an all-rounded approach to their education, but also they remain engaged and things are still fun for them. So that's one thing that we did. Another thing that we looked into is a couple of different AI platforms. So we said every single week, we've made it our resolve to make sure that we are introducing you to as many different AI platforms that you can use in your day to day. One of those was Currypod, and Ruvimbo went through a session on Currypod as well as Magic School. And these are all things that you can put into your toolkit in order to develop all of that in terms of the materials. But also, just to remind everybody that the Women Empowerment Program ties quite nicely into the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And we are really big on goal number 4, goal number 5, as well as goal number 17. So, goal number 4, we're really, really big on quality education, and this is what this program strives to do. And goal number 5, which is in reduced inequality, particularly in gender, you will find that there is a specific focus for women, particularly who are educators, to be up there when it comes to technology. So this is in a nutshell what we covered last week. We were also very excited to have to introduce our Teachers Corner. And at this point, I really want to encourage everybody to get their 3-minute videos ready. We want to hear from you from wherever you are. So that we get to understand what's going on in your neck of the woods. So, we are pretty much excited to go right into today's session. And we're going to move on to the next slide now, where we're going to showcase what it is that we are going to be doing today. So for those of us that didn't manage to join us last week, here we go this week from chalkboards to chatbots. So when we speak about the 21st century classroom, you will recall that pretty much the method of instruction that we're using is somewhat similar to what the classroom of the 80s looked like. So it was more teacher-centric, it was more teacher in the front. And now we're moving towards a technological way of getting education across, and it's more interactive, it's more engaging. Next slide, please. It's more engaging, and it's more of the student at the center of the learning process. So they're going right in and taking charge of their learning journeys. And what an exciting time to be alive. So today we are on week 3 of our session, and we're looking at from chalkboards to chatbots. As you can already see why I said I'm excited for next week. We are going to be looking at digital storytelling for STEM, and you can pretty much guess that Canva will form a very large part of the session next week. Next slide, please. So this is our way of keeping stock of what's coming up next in the program. And of course, you know our moderators. It's myself, Vickie and Ruvimbo Delia Hakata. And so we will be with you once again this week. Next slide, please. So as I had alluded to earlier, when we speak about chalkboards to chatbots, we want to work on how we can harness the AI tools that we've been talking about for the last 2 weeks for us to develop smarter lesson delivery and smarter lesson design. And one of the key things as educators is for us to understand how AI tools enhance lesson planning and lesson delivery. And this works as well for our partners who are not necessarily in the actual classroom, but are tasked with running IT administration or education programs in support of the work that is being done in the classroom. We want to then unpack and explore how to co-create learning content using artificial intelligence. Now, when we use the word co-create, it is deliberate. The teacher, the educator, the program administrator is still in the driving seat of the actual lesson design and delivery. So you would then need to know how to prompt any AI platform or any AI system in order to get the intended results. Now, I will just digress for a minute here and say there's been talk of people saying, well, AI is going to take our jobs and we're not going to be able to compete against it. And I want to submit to you that I don't believe that that is true. I strongly believe that those that will have AI take over their jobs will be because they do not know how to leverage AI. And this is one of the reasons why this program is actually happening. It's so that we can all get an appreciation and understanding, and at best, at least an awareness of how AI forms such a pivotal part of the education journey. And another important thing, the power of community here at the Women Empowerment Program. We're going to learn from our peers here through the group work that you're going to be assigned this week, which we hope you'll find time over the weekend to enjoy and to do. And you're going to hear from your other colleagues about how they're navigating using technology such as AI in the classroom. And as always, we are going to take part in a fun and interactive live quiz to reinforce some of the concepts that we're going to discuss here today. Next slide, please. And I'm seeing some amazing messages here in the chat box. Nomsa says she discovered the unsplash.com to get pictures relevant for topics in various subjects. And I can see how this is not only going to be useful to the program, but it's definitely going to be useful to some of the group work that you're going to be given. So this is absolutely amazing. So we want to talk a little bit more about the shift in teaching tools. So I mentioned that the 21st century classroom is a different type of environment to navigate. We went from writing on chalkboards with a blackboard duster and different color pieces of chalk. By the way, I thought that was actually kind of amusing to have the teacher draw a tree in green chalk and then draw the trunk of the tree in like brown or orange colored chalk, and then have the sun in yellow colored chalk. It kind of brought the lesson to life. But hey, we've kind of moved forward, haven't we? We've moved through the chalkboard to textbooks that we could physically hold and open, which I strongly believe it's kind of still a pivotal part of learning. And then now we have teachers developing worksheets straight off of Google, right? And then now we're coming into a scenario where we're saying, well, there's AI-powered content available on so many different digital platforms. And guess what? This allows the teacher to have more time on their plate to do what? To personalize and to engage lesson content with their students. And I think as educators, I am one too, in my own right. Anything that I can do to spend as much time with the beneficiaries of the content is most welcome in my life. And so I'm really grateful that we are able to leverage AI to get our work done in the shortest possible amount of time. Next slide, please. And as we wait for the next slide, what you could do in the chat is actually just put a thumbs up if you find that AI has helped you save a bit of time as an educator. And I know I will be the first to put my thumbs up. So, how do we move forward with embracing the AI evolution or revolution? It's very important to free up time, as I've often said, with our students. Reason being, students learn at different paces. And I say students quite loosely because I do understand that some of us are also involved with adult education. And you will agree with me because this is some of the things that I spend my time doing is working across primary, secondary, tertiary, and also in professional settings. And you will find that it's not always easy for adults to grasp a specific concept. So once they're stuck on it, they tend to stay stuck on it for a while. And if you could develop content using AI that will allow you to have more time to explain concepts, that would be absolutely amazing. So it's very important just to iterate the point that once you have freed up your time, you can use it for other important educational functions. May we move to the next slide, please? Thanks. Next slide. So focusing on the shift from chalkboards to chatbots. One of the most interesting things about the type of student that you find in the classroom is their idea of learning is somewhat different. So we would walk into class single file, sit on the table, get the books out, and get ready for the lesson. This type of student that we have now in the 21st century, well, this part of the 21st century anyway, is the type of student that wants to be sort of engaged so that they can learn. And so with AI, there's a myriad, plethora of different ways in which you could start a lesson. So conversation starters, discussion starters for lessons that will be engaging and that will actually be a warm up to an actual lesson. You can also automate administrative tasks. That's one of the most important things. I think one thing that's important is for us to understand that as educators, it's not only just the teaching that we are expected to do. There are many other admin tasks, such as mark schedules, such as report writing, and a whole bunch of things, schemes of work. There's so many things that are required for us to do before you can even begin to talk about doing the actual lesson itself. And so if you're able to do these tasks and automate them in a way that they're scheduled and you don't have to worry about them, that again ultimately frees up time for you to focus on the core business, which is your teaching. So it's absolutely amazing that in the diverse settings that we find ourselves in as people who lead in education, you will find that inclusivity becomes very important. You have different children, different people from different walks of life and different backgrounds, and possibly even different languages. So English isn't always a first language where you might be. And so having AI on hand to be able to offer multilingual support is something that you might want to look at as a benefit. And also, while I'm here, one of the most interesting things that I have found with AI is each and every institution has a different method of approach as to whether they will allow the use of AI in their schools or not. And when asked to participate in such meetings where such decisions need to be made, it would be great to actually have this arsenal, the tools in your arsenal, such as all these benefits that we're discussing on this program, that you could possibly present to the authorities in order to allow for at least somewhat of an AI integration policy into your respective institution. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So we're moving on to the fun part. This is what we're here to do. We're here to actually get our hands dirty and do some practical work. And this practical work is what is going to carry you through when you do your assignments later on this week. And so I'm going to hand you over to Ruvimbo to take us through the session on co-creating lessons with AI. Ruvimbo, it's over to you.
Thank you, Vickie. So, this part I absolutely love. Let's go to the next slide. We're going to be co-creating lessons with AI. And first, we are going to just explain the demo and how it's going to go. So we're going to take 5 minutes to turn a topic into a 3-level quiz. But what do we mean by 3-level, please? Next slide, please. When we're talking about a 3-level quiz, we're talking about testing 3 different aspects from a given topic. For example, we want to test basic recall. We taught the students about a certain topic. Do they remember what we spoke about? Do they remember the key points? And then the second level is, did they understand it? Can they explain it to somebody else? And then the third is, can they apply what they've learned in a real life situation? Do they have the critical thinking skills that would like them to have so that they can solve problems with any form of topic that we have taught them and within that area? So we want to do this using the topic of photosynthesis. That's the one I'm going to use. But on your end, I'd really love you to use any topic that you'd like. And this is what we're going to do. Next slide, please. Here's our task. So on your mobile device, on your laptop, or any device that you're accessing this with, I would like you to open your favorite AI tool. And when I start sharing my screen, I'd like you to open it as well, to open the tool that you have on your end as well. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to put in a prompt, and our prompt will ask our AI to create a 3-level quiz on insert the topic that you want. For grade 7 students, level 1 should test recall, level 2 should test understanding, and level 3 should test application or analysis. Did you get that? Great. Please give me a thumbs up if you got it, and then I'm going to start sharing my screen, and then we can do this together step by step. Awesome. I've got a few thumbs up. So I'm going to start sharing my screen. Okay. Can we see my screen, Vickie? It's showing ChatGPT.
Not yet. I
Okay.
haven't seen. Okay, now it is starting to come up.
So
Just hold on. Yes, we can see your screen.
that is great. All right. And everybody, I hope you've got your favorite AI tool ready, be it ChatGPT, be it Gemini, be it Magic School, even Claude AI. I hope you've got it open and ready, and then we can type our prompt together. And our prompt says, create a 3-level quiz on, I'm going to use the example of photosynthesis, and then you can insert any topic here. Could be a topic of interest or a topic that you actually teach. Please insert it there for grade 7 students. Level 1 should be recall, should be to test recall. Level 2 should test understanding. Okay, clicked on the wrong button there. And level 3 should test our application and analysis. Right. Did we get that? I'm going to click enter. Great. Vickie, I'm going to need your help here. If we've completed the entry, could you please give us a thumbs up? Whilst I'm sharing the screen, it's very hard to see your thumbs up. But Vickie, could you kindly help me with this?
All right, sure. Yeah, happy to do that. You would like me to confirm?
Yes, please. So if we've got a
All right.
response, let us know with a thumbs up.
Yes. Yes. We've got a response.
Awesome. That is great. So as you can see, I've used ChatGPT, and ChatGPT gave me, sorry. Oh, so ChatGPT gave me the 3 levels of the quiz and 15 questions. So I've got 5 questions on each level to test the basic knowledge, the recall, the understanding, as well as the application and analysis. So we're going to go back to our slides, and I'm going to stop sharing. So as we go back to the slides and stop sharing, can I have a few volunteers that can just share what they got for their response? Next slide, please. So I'd like to see your hand up, or you can share in the chat what you have found, and then we can just review what the output that we got from AI. Yes, Confianta, Glenda, you can
Okay.
unmute and
Can you hear me? I'm not
yes, we can.
on video.
Yes, we can.
Um, okay. Would you want me to share my screen?
There's no need. You can read it to us.
Or I should okay, it's fine. So this is my prompt. Create a 3-level quiz on business organization for grade 8 students. Then I put in brackets Cambridge because that's the syllabus that we are using, so that it guides me through the Cambridge curriculum. Level 1 should test to recall. Level 2 understand. Level 3 test application and analysis. So it gave me 9 questions for each level. Yeah, to understand, recall and application, and it's relevant. I teach business studies, and this is really relevant information.
Amazing. Thank you very much. If I can ask, which tool did you use? Was it ChatGPT? Was it Gemini, Claude? Which one was it?
I used Magic School, and it's my first time using it.
Awesome. Happy to hear that. And Thank you, Confianza. We also have Sandra. Sandra, you can unmute and then share with us.
Yes, good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
I teach literature in English in SS3 in Nigeria. I put the prompt, I use GPT, chat GPT, please. And I put the prompt, create a 3-level quizzes for my SS3 students on the theme of the Nun's Priest Tale by Geoffrey Chaucer to test recall, understanding, and application. It gave me 15 questions in all, 5 per each level. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you, Sandra. Please continue.
Then the first level, test and recall, he gave me, mention 2 major themes in the Norse priest's tale. And then, what is the theme connected with human pride in the tale? And so on and so. Then under level 2, he gave me 5 questions too. One is explain how the theme of pride is shown in Chanticleer's character. Then another question under that is, in what way does the theme of deception drive the plot of the tale? Then under level 3, it gave me 5 questions too. The first one is, how can the theme of pride and downfall in the tale be related to the real life leaders or rulers in history? Give one example. And another question under that, apply the theme of deception to a modern day situation among teenagers. What lesson can be learned? Those are some of the highlights from the questions I was given.
Amazing. Thank you, Sandra, for sharing. So everybody, thank you. We encourage you to also try this out. If you're unable to do it right now, please do it later on. Try it out. Try the prompt for yourself, for your own topics, and then see how it goes. So for what we've learned here is that when we give it a prompt, like create a 3-level quiz and then give it what we would like from the quiz, we'll get these 3 forms of outputs based on what we even gave. And I like what Confianza said, whereby she added in additional details like the syllabus that she's doing, and what Sandra did by also adding in the grade name in relation to her country such that it gives a specific for that particular curriculum. So it's something we can do as we enhance our prompts, and we'll get better and better results the more we practice. But here are the general results that I got for inputting for the synthesis. And for the recall, I got a question like, what gas do plants take in during photosynthesis? And then on the second question for the understanding, I got what is chlorophyll? Why is chlorophyll important for photosynthesis? And then on the third, I had the question for application and to get the students to do some critical thinking. The question then read, imagine a plant is kept in a dark room for a week, predict what will happen to it and why. So this is how we can also save time when we're writing tests or when we're preparing curriculums, to just have AI as an assistant to help us create these different quizzes that can help us in our lessons. Vickie is going to show you another tool that is going to help us. We've talked about it earlier and super excited that she'll be showing this to you. So, Vickie?
Thank you, Ruvimbo. Thank you so much for that amazing session. I was just looking through the chat there and I see that Khadija has shared her work with us. Khadija, are you able to walk us through your exercise? I found it very interesting because I've looked at it already. Please go through. Please go through, Khadija.
Bonjour, bonjour Victoria.
Hello, Victoria.
Hello, Ruvimbo. I'm sorry, I'm not sure I pronounced your name correctly, but I tried. I'm going to present myself. I'm Khadija, and I am a school inspector for life sciences and applied sciences. So it's great because photosynthesis is exactly in my topic. So I used the same prompt as what you proposed, but I added the specific domain. For example, I wanted it to match the school curriculum in Morocco, especially for students currently studying photosynthesis. So, someone earlier mentioned the Cambridge program. So, the prompt must always be adapted to the context in which the students are studying. And Ruvimbo earlier mentioned the idea of critical thinking. And it is good to ask this question because we're going to get the critical thinking when it comes to photosynthesis. But I also want to teach my students to have critical thinking towards AI, because that's also an important point. You can't just accept the answers created or generated by AI. The learners must also have that critical thinking when they use AI. And thank you. I'm so happy to be with you.
And we're so happy you're with us, Khadija. Thank you so much. And I love everything that you've absolutely said. You cannot just take everything as is from AI. Make sure that you are verifying that it is indeed in tandem with the curriculum that you have been asked to teach. So well done, Khadija, for highlighting that point. So super excited. So moving on to the next part, which is our tech tool for the week. Next slide, please. Which is our tech tool for the week. I did speak about this a little earlier, um, to say we are going to use Canva, but in a myriad of different ways. And I myself also have been using Canva for education. I will just pop the link in the chat. I hope it will let me, so that you can follow that link and see if you can get yourself verified. There is a bit of a process before you are allowed to actually use Canva for education. Mainly, they will require a letter from your school on letterhead, and they will require you to log in with a school email. So something that says Victoria at whateverschool.com, so that they can verify that you are indeed an educator at that platform. So if you do have something like that, this might be a very good platform for you to use. But for today, we will just use the ordinary Canva. The basic plan, you do not need to sign up and also pay any premiums on this particular one. So moving forward, speaking about how to engage, whether it's your audience, whether it's students, on a specific topic, sometimes creating an icebreaker to a specific topic, which might be seen or deemed as difficult, might be the best way to approach your learning material. And so using Canva, which is our tech spotlight for this particular week, and also the main tool for next week's edition, we are going to create a worksheet or a warm-up activity, and we're going to be using Canva Magic Write. Now, just like what we did in Ruvimbo's session, I'm going to allow you to decide using Canva what type of presentation or what type of material you want to create using this. So the prompt we are all going to use is generate a 5-question icebreaker about women in tech history. So I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen. And you don't need to do what I'm doing. You just need to kind of, and just let me know there, Ruvimbo, once you can see my screen.
All right, we can see your screen.
Okay, awesome stuff. So the prompt The key is to use Canva AI. So you'll see Canva AI is there. Ordinarily in Canva, you have different ways in which you could approach this. So there's usually templates there that you could use. So already there we are. I do a lot of work around artificial intelligence. So you'll find my templates are kind of more curated to that now. But you could pick a presentation that's already preset with colors and everything, or you may have some pre-existing designs you already have, which you might want to use. But for now, we are going to use Canva AI. And we're going to type in the prompt. So we've already said generate. So generates a 5-question icebreaker about women in tech. So as I do this, my hope is you're also on Canva AI. But here's the beautiful thing. You're able to do different things. Maybe you just want an image, or maybe you just want Canva to call out and just design for you. Or you might actually want a video clip, or you might want a document. So you're free to go ahead and choose what it works for you. So in this case, I'm going to leave it open so that I can make a decision a little bit later. So I'm waiting for my idea to come to life. And so there we have it. I have my 5 questions that have been created. And these 5 questions are: who is a woman in tech that inspires you and why? This is guaranteed to get the conversation going. What's one groundbreaking innovation led by a woman in tech that you think more people should know about? And so this allows them either A, to go onto Google and kind of figure out which type of innovations are trending by women, or they might actually showcase to the class a specific innovation that they know of. So this could be anything from Marie Curie to, any woman that's ever won the Nobel Peace Prize for something, or whatever the story is, women in STEM and that sort of thing. So you're taking care of that part of the 4 C's of education, where we're asking them to both be creative, but also to have that critical thinking, because this is an exercise that will require them to do that. And then here's another interesting one, looking at the creativity part of our 4 C's for education. If you could have coffee with any woman leader in technology, past or present, who would it be? Now, if they don't know of any women in technology, they would need to find who the women in technology are and find one that they resonate with. So now, again, you're promoting critical thinking, you're also promoting creativity and somewhat collaboration, because they may just, sneak over to their friend and go, who do you know? And so now that conversation gets going. What's one challenge women in tech face today that you think the industry should prioritize solving? Again, a lot of critical thinking is going to be required for them to know where to look for the challenges that women in tech face today. So you're still in charge of the lesson, you're still in charge of guiding them, but it's a different approach, as opposed to you standing there and telling them about women in tech, about telling them about the challenges that women face. Let them find out for themselves. And the last one, what advice would you give to young women aspiring to enter the tech field? So again, it's forcing them to kind of come up and sort of be part and parcel of the conversation around how do we get more women in tech? How do we get more women in STEM? So that's one way of doing it. And then you could go on to then say, okay, fine, I now have these specific questions. And you could go on to type, as I am doing now, go on to type and say, turn this into a presentation with images. So now you want to bring this whole concept to life. And so it's going to kind of go through that whole thing again. And so it's going to ask, what type of audience do you have? Is it students? Is it colleagues? And how many slides would you want? Do you want a short and sweet sort of presentation, or you want something a bit more detailed? And so again, you're still in the driver's seat. So you're going to want something modern, definitely, and something educational. And I would say 1 to 5 pages is fair. So after having set the parameters, I will go ahead to ask it to then create that. And so it will come up pretty soon. So why I do this, and I'm working with you on this particular journey of trying to figure out how we can create these things, is the truth is that the people that we are kind of teaching now require a different type of teaching style, a lot more engagement, so that they stay connected with lesson material. So you will find it's already given me how it intends to present the information. And it is true, I asked for an introduction. I did ask for them to speak about inspirational women in STEM. I then spoke about groundbreaking innovations. There's a question about that. I asked about who would you like to have coffee with, and then the challenges that women face, and then of course lastly the advice. So I'm very happy that it has stayed within the parameters which I gave in the beginning. And so now we're going to go right ahead and generate that design. So it is currently generating, and that's the wonderful thing about this particular platform, is that for you to go into PowerPoint and literally start from scratch in creating this probably would have taken you a lot longer than it has now. And so we're just going to wait for that to pop up. And so the design elements are coming up. And it's like being in the kitchen and mixing a whole bunch of ingredients. And then once the dish comes to life, you start to smell the aroma. You start to almost salivate as you almost taste the food. So really exciting as we wait for the design to be finalized. So I hope you're doing this with me. And as soon as I'm done with this, I'd really love to hear from you what you got with this little exercise. So I'm just going to go with the first one. So I've just made that a little bit bigger so you can see it. And so there you are. So there are our icebreaker questions with content design. And so this is basically talking points and also very accurate information there about inspirational women who paved the way. We all know about Ada Lovelace, Grace Hopper, Reshma Saujani. She leads Women Who Code and has been remarkable for years. And so we are certain that the information that has been put out is indeed true. Also, groundbreaking innovations. We know Ada Lovelace. She's one of the female leads and gurus when it comes to programming languages and software development. And so it's wonderful to hear about Reshma also, who founded Girls Who Code. And so the information is accurate. We didn't type it in, but it was done, and we were able to have something within a couple of minutes that we're able to share with our students. So I'm just going to go right ahead and stop the share. And bearing in mind that you're also able to download this presentation. So say you've been asked to step in for a class that maybe perhaps one, you're not really familiar with, and number two, it's not something that you are able to, kind of teach off of a whim. And so it's wonderful to know that you have this as a fail-safe and as a fallback plan. So I'm just going to take one or two comments. I'm just going to take one or two comments from you. How did you, for those that did the session, how did it go? I see something in the chat there from Mawela. She's already come up with something there. Who else would like to just quickly share what they did during our session? Anybody else? Feel free to share in the chat. So Ruvimbo, there we have it. a sneak peek into how exciting next week is going to be. And so at this point, I'm just going to wait for everybody to kind of put their stuff in the chat. But nothing stops us, Ruvimbo, from moving on to the next part of our program, one of the parts that we enjoy the most. And which part is that?
It is hearing from you guys. It is the Teacher's Corner. Today we've got somebody for the Teacher's Corner. Her name is Tsungai Edith Nyakopinda, and she is a biology teacher. She's going to be sharing with us her experience using AI for her classroom, and we hope we can talk a bit more about it. Excited for this one, Vickie?
Excited as well. So very excited to share the Teacher's Corner video for this week. I know Tsungai. I've had the privilege of working with Tsungai, so it's exciting. If we could get the volume, please. The volume on the video, please.
We have no sound on the video.
Still no sound on the video. So just to encourage everybody as the video is being sorted out, to again, please get your 3-minute video ready. We just want to know how you're doing in your neck of the woods. Tell us some of the opportunities, some of the challenges that you're facing, and really anything that you could have done to overcome them, and a little bit about your country. Okay, we still don't have sound. As always, technology will always show off and show up at technology events, but I'm sure we should be able to share this specific video. So what we're going to do is jump right into the live poll. I think that's another fun thing that we enjoy on this program. And we'll come right back to the video a little bit later. But just to show you that there are some teachers' video entries that we have received, and we're looking forward to receiving a lot more from all of you. So it's over to you, Ruvimbo, for the
Live poll. Yay. So please don't take this as an exam. It's a fun way for us to understand and know what you've been up to. So I'm going to ask our technical team to bring up our live poll. It should pop up right onto your screen. Let's just give them a minute there and it should be coming up. Great. I can see it on my screen. Can you see it on yours?
Yes, we can.
Thumbs up means yes. Awesome. So we have got a couple of questions we're going to be asking, a total of 4. Please give us your answers in there. Today, they're going to be short answer questions, and just type in your responses. We want to hear from you. Hearing from you makes the whole program better, and we can do the work that we've done today and put it into practice. So we want to just test a bit of recall. We want to test a bit of application, and we want to get some feedback from you. So we'd want to know, what does Magic School do? Or for you to share one benefit of co-creating lessons with AI, like when we practice with ChatGPT today, or Gemini, or Magic School AI, if you use Magic School Claude, whichever AI tool that you used. What was the benefit of that? What is the benefit of that exercise that you saw? And then how can we support you so that you're able to use AI as in your educator's journey? And the very last one is going to be, which platform do you currently use? And if you're not using any right now and you're looking forward to doing so, it's awesome. Add it in there, and then we'll be very happy to just see your responses. So far, I can see some responses coming in. Please keep them coming. We love, love, love to hear from you. And yeah, let's keep it going for the next, I think we can say 3 minutes, Vickie. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure. Let's make it maybe about 2 minutes. Let's cut it
Okay.
down to 2 minutes. I do see that so far, two out of a possible 41 people on the call have participated. So we just want to encourage everybody. The live poll is for all of us. It helps us help make the program better for you. So we would really love everybody to be part and parcel of answering this specific poll. So thank you so much. I see the numbers are also going up there. So just want to encourage as many of you, please, if you haven't exactly started the poll, please go ahead and do it. We've got about 2 minutes to get through the poll.
And if you need clues, share an emoji. Maybe we'll give you a clue. Okay, so we've got a message in our chat box here, and we've got Grace saying she does not see the poll questions. So, Grace, which device are you using? Are you using a mobile phone or a laptop? Because the way the poll pops up on the screen could be slightly different depending on the device that you're using. If you're using your mobile phone, you might want to click on the button where you see all of your open apps and then awesome. So there's this little button at the bottom of the phone that you can use. This button has, for me, it has 3 lines. For others, it sometimes comes through with just a marker you can slide through, but it's where you then see all of the apps that you have open. You see Zoom with 2 open tabs. Click on the tab that's written Take Quiz. And if you still cannot see it, just try to come to the chat box and then you'll likely be able to see it. Sandra, if you're also using your mobile phone, this might be the issue, but let me know if you've tried out the looking at all of your open tabs and then clicking on the second Zoom tab, written take quiz. And if that doesn't work well, come to the chat box and then share the feedback and we can try to make this work together. Thank you for the feedback. This also helps for us to understand what challenges you could be facing in accessing the poll, and we'll make it better and better as we go.
Good stuff. And thank you so much for those that are continuing to join in and complete the poll. It's looking really good. So thank you so much, ladies, for joining through that poll. So yeah, we'll give it another minute, Ruvimbo, before we go back to our Teacher's Corner video. We can't wait to hear from Tsungai all the way here in Zimbabwe. And question number 3, Ruvimbo, what
Yes.
support would you need to be able to use AI in your educator's journey? That's a very insightful question. I would like to believe, and I can only really speak for the extensive amount of work you and I are doing in Zimbabwe, that definitely a lot of support in terms of training has always been very, very important. And I would like to believe that that is one of the tools in terms of support that is probably the first port of call. I don't know, in your neck of the woods, when you do Women Take Makers, what does that look like?
So this support sometimes looks like let's open the tool together so that we can boost confidence. A lot of times when we're trying something new, it can be a bit scary. So some of the support is, hey, I've used it. I think it works like this. I didn't get to do that. And just having these general conversations that we'll likely have in our groups and the conversations that we have in platforms such as these about what am I using, and then someone else tells me of a cooler tool, and the next person tells me of something else, and then we all, at the end of the day, we all have this really cool toolkit, and I also have people to go ask if I have some errors using one of the tools to say, hey, maybe I wasn't able to export. How did you do that? Because I know you use that tool and it really helps. So that community that we're building is one of the platforms that has helped us support the teams that have been working on getting AI into their classrooms, into their work, and even just understanding it from what is this AI and how can I use it on a day-to-day basis.
Absolutely. The power of community. This is what the Women Empowerment Program is all about. So, very excited to look at some of those responses a little bit later. But for now, it's back to the Teacher's Corner.
Hello, my name is Tsingai Nyakunda. I come from Zimbabwe. I teach biology up to A level, chemistry, physics, coordinated science, and combined science up to IGCSE level. And my theory of teaching, or my philosophy, is I strive to teach inclusively, that is to engage differently capacitated learners in one lesson. And I normally use different tools to try and accommodate all students. And this has led me to do more courses and researches on how to lessen the complexity of some concepts to accommodate every learner. And I've discovered that when I use AI chatbots, they help me to reduce the level of the concepts so that I accommodate every learner. And I use ChatGPT. Sometimes I upload a video or a PowerPoint presentation, and then I interact with ChatGPT or even Gemini to try and formulate questions from the document that I would have uploaded to try and suit different levels. But the challenges that I have as a teacher in Zimbabwe, there are network challenges and also the ICT gadgets that are available are not enough to accommodate every learner. And also, as a biology teacher, that's my major, I find it very difficult. Suppose I do not have access to the lab to do my practicals, but I would want students to do their practicals even during their prep time. I would look for simulations, that is the virtual lab, and simulations of the experiment, real experiment, where students can interact with. But I find limited simulations, which is very difficult for me. So I desire that, given a chance and having been schooled in how to do the simulations myself, I would want to embark on that project to do simulations that can be found offline, where students can interact with real lab apparatus on a computer. And this is my desire as a teacher.
And what a beautiful desire that is. Thank you so much, Tsungai, for that. And it's wonderful that you actually took us into your classroom. It was so wonderful to see your workspace and everybody walking around behind you. And so this is just to encourage everybody to do your 3-minute video. We'd love to hear from you. So thank you, Tsungai, from us to you. Lots and lots of love. And so as we go right into our closing for today, Ruvimbo, what do we need to be mindful for next week?
All right. This has been awesome, really. So for next week, we need to just take a look at our Google Classrooms. We're going to be placing a little assignment there, and your facilitators are going to guide you through it. And then during the upcoming week, there'll be a more detailed review on it. Next week, we're going to be looking at storytelling, digital storytelling in STEM. So this could be for any subjects that you have, and then seeing how you can turn the lessons that we want to deliver into stories that can engage the learners. So super excited for that one, Vickie, in this upcoming week. And we are going to look at the different tools that we're going to utilize for this digital storytelling.
Absolutely, looking good. And also, just by way of reminder, there is a survey that is in the WhatsApp group. Please, 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 if you could complete that survey. It's a very short survey, it won't take a minute or two. Please go ahead and complete that. And again, this helps us deliver the best program for you all. So we'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for that. So, as always, we are excited about saying goodbye, but we don't just say goodbye here. You know that. We're going to dance our way out of this program. So, as we say goodbye and taking heed of all the reminders that we have, we're going to have a little bit of music or, just us waving and wishing each other well as we leave today's session. So, lots of love again from us to you till we meet next week, same place, same time. It's been fun. Bye bye.
Thanks, everybody. It's always nice to see you all and to see your cameras open, can see all the lovely
So I'm
faces.
already starting to dance because I know the music's coming. It has to. It's what yes, Alexandra, yes. It has to. It has to. Yes, Viola, I see you. I see you. And that's the beautiful thing about being African. We have so much rhythm, don't we? So the music will come. If not, we'll start singing. If not, we'll start singing. If not, we'll start singing. We'll start singing. We'll start singing. We'll start